Now we will execute the same two discussed programs for you to understand even through Eclipse also. First, I'll be executing this area of a square, then followed by next program will be executing this average of three numbers. So for that, I'm moving to Eclipse. I'll close all the previous files and I'll minimize everything and let us create a new project then to give you some more information and also to clarify that we can create any number of classes in one package. So for that thing, I'm creating a new Java project. I'll name this project name as methods. So after this method project, I click on finish. Then next, let me expand this and inside SRC, we right click and we go for a package. So let me go for new package. The package name com dot. So I'm using the institute website reverse order com dot grads dot. Our concept is method. It is not a predefined keyword, so we can use as a ending word of package. Then I click on finish. Now we observe inside this package, I am going to create two classes. One class which is a independent class. So according to our discussion, it is a square class. Then does square class requires main method? No. So square class is not required a main method. That's why I'm not selecting main method. I click on finish. Then followed by again I right click on main method only. Sorry, same package only. Then I'll go to new class. This time I will give the class name as test class. Test class is used for execution of the program. That's why I'm selecting the main method, because without main method, a Java program will not be executed. Yeah, finish. Done. Next, then out of these two, that is test class and square class, which class is independent? Square is a independent. That's why first which class code we have to type? Independent class code only we have to type it. So I am double clicking on this file name. So to see only the class view. So inside the square class, now you observe, once I click on enter, where the cursor is blinking, fifth character. That's what even I am trying to convince you while writing the code also. We should follow this level of standards. It's recommended to be, otherwise it's still fine, but still some people will judge us based on these things also. That's why. Then access modifier as a method syntax. Then return type of the area of a square, which we discussed as float. Then area is method name. Then parenthesis, what's input type? Float type, some variable name side. Then the method body. Don't worry why we are getting error, because once we use a return type as data type, until unless we give return type, compiler will keep on throwing the error. So don't bother about it. You follow what we understood correctly. Then inside this first right hand side part I'm typing. What's the right hand side part? Side is a variable name. That's why I'm using side into side. Is it correct? No, because what's my variable name? Side. So here can I use S into S? No, this is one common mistake. We'll do it whenever we are writing. Eclipse means it will throw error. So while writing, we should be careful about these things. So side into side. And this result has to be stored into some other variable. So that's why I'm assigning. And what's the variable name? Float type. Then AR something like this. Still we are getting error because return statement is not added. So for better view, I'm using some extra lines of space. While when we are typing, it's not mandatory. So written, what you have written? AR, then semicolon. Now the syntax is right. Complete syntax is right. So I'm saving this file by using Control S. This definition of a class and a method and its logical task and return value is over. Now we have to execute it by calling the method. So how to call the method? The area method is present in a square class. Inside square class, area method is there. But from where we are trying to access? From test class we are trying to access. To access another class data, what we supposed to do? Create the object. So class name, object syntax is class name, then object reference, assignment operator, then new, again the class name, then open and close parenthesis, semicolon. This is the object creation. This line of code is what? Object of square class. Correct? After creating the object, to access the inner members, what's the part we have to use? Object reference, we have to use s dot, what is the method name? Area. What are the inputs? One float value we have to pass. So while giving the float value, can we give us 10 only as a plain number? Yeah, can we use non-decimals also? Yes, so float has a capacity of both. That's why here I'm giving only 10. Is it accepted? Are we getting any error? No. That means method calling is enough to execute the method. But do we see the output? No. So for programmer to see the output, or for programmer to reuse the method return value, we have to catch it. That's the left hand side part. So now I'm using the left hand side. So this method result is stored into some variable. That variable should be which type? What's the method return type? Float. It should match the compatible type of method return type. Then only it is allowed. That's why float only I'm using. Then some res is our variable name. That's it. So this left hand side part is called as catching the method return value. Why we should catch? To reuse the result of the method or to see the output of the method. Then in the next line, let us use the print function. SYSO control space is the shortcut for print statement in Eclipse. I repeat, SYSO control space on the keyboard. After typing SYSO control space or sysout, there are various options are there. So here, which variable you have to use? RES is a variable to see the output. Now I'm saving the file by Control S. I right click in this class area and I go to run Java application. Now we observe. So 10 into 10 is the area result. We are going to get 100.0 is the output. Understood? Next, area method parameter is which type? Area method parameter is which type? Float type. Then instead of integer value, can we also give float value? Yes. Can I give 5.5? But we are getting error. What's the rule for float value? Float value has to end with F if it is a decimal number. That's the rule. So while writing the handwritten code, this point will miss it. Eclipse is not giving the output, then your code is also wrong. Don't say that because of this small f only my program is wrong. Yes, it is wrong because Eclipse is giving the error, not giving the output. Yeah. So with interviewer or with anybody, by making some errors, please never argue. Will become more wrong. Okay. So 5.5. Now let me save it and right click and run the Java application. So we are going to get the output as 30.25. 5.5 into 5.5 will give 30.25 is output. Understood? Next, I just don't want to print just simply 30.25 something like this. I want to print some meaningful output. What should we do? Add something. Inside this print function, add something by using a plus symbol. What I want to add? Some string I want to add because the area of a square is something nothing but a group of characters which is string. That's why in double quotes. Then the area of square is colon space. Proper presentation I want. That's why I save this time. I execute by using this shortcut icon. Now you'll get a meaningful output called the area of a square is 30.25. Understood? No, we don't get. That you have to add. So for example, so in centimeters, if you are giving, then square centimeters is output. If you meters you are giving, square meters is output. That value we have to give it, and later on you want to append with something that comes with the front end actually. Yeah. So this is the first program, method calling process, catching the result process, printing the result. Am I clear with everything? Yeah. Any questions? No. Here, Prashant asked one question and others also it's important. These two classes are in the same package or different packages? Same package only. So here is a point that we can access same package classes from one class to the other class by creating object. As of now, by creating the object. Yeah. Shall we go for next program execution? So I'll close these two files. Then the average program that also I am using in the same package only. I'm going to create one independent class first. As we discussed, there is a number class which I have taken. That will not have a main method. We have to define a method to perform the average logic. That's why no main method. Then to execute this, do we need to take one more class with main method? Our previous main method only we can use it. Remember one point here, one important point. In one project, I'm not saying in one package, in one project, one main method is only recommended to take. We can take any number of main methods, but professional ways recommended to take only one main method to execute all the other class code inside that. Yeah, that's why. So here I'm only taking number class. In previously test class, the main method is there. This one only I'm going to use even to see the average logic, average output also. Yeah, are you getting me? Yeah. So that's why first let us go to independent class to have the code. So access modifier for the method public. To keep it simple, we discussed int is return type. Method name, a meaningful method name, average. How many inputs? Since we are finding the average of three numbers, so therefore three inputs. So int a comma int b comma int c. Then within this method body, write the logical task. So first I'm writing the right hand side with parenthesis a plus b plus c. For better visibility, I'm using extra spaces. It's not mandatory. Forward slash is a division operator in Java. Then average of three numbers, that way division with three. Then what is supposed to do? This result has to be stored into some variable. So what type of variable? Int type of variable. Some variable name, avg or anything of our choice. Then since return type is value type, it must be returned by using a return statement. Then variable name called avg. So this syntax is right and done. Now to execute average method, which is present in the number class from main method, what are we supposed to do? Create the object. So what's the class name? Number, then some n equals new, again number, then parenthesis and semicolon. Call the method. N is the reference dot method signature, that is method name, average, and which is expecting three integer input values. So let me give 10 and let me give 20 and also 30. You can give anything of integer capability. This is method calling. Then how do you see the method result? You have to store into some variable of which type? Why integer type only? Is it because of input or return type? Yeah, because of return type, not because of input. Okay, return type is int type. That's why we have to use int type of variable only to catch it. Understood? Done? Then how to see the output? Use the print function to see the output of this x variable. So now only to see the average, previous lines of code I don't want. So we can comment them or we can delete them also. So I'm commenting them by using double forward slash. We can comment. Now I save this. I right click and execute. What's our output? It's going to be 10 plus 20 plus 30, 60 by 3. So which is going to be 20. Now you can observe in the console. So we are going to get the 20. So again, for a meaningful output, what we can do? Append by using plus symbol. So what type of data? String kind of data. Average of three numbers. is colon space save and control F11 is the keyboard shortcut. Now you can see the output as the average of three numbers is 20. Understood? Yeah. So this is how the method calling, catching and all those things is possible. If this is clear, then I'll go to the next part. If it is not clear, please you be clear to ask me. You ask me clearly which is not clear to you. If it is clear, please type yes. If it is not clear, type what's your question or what to be repeated. No. Okay. No and yes. Okay, I got your meaning. Clear. Yeah, that's more clear message, Parvati. Thank you. Viresh, you don't want to respond? Yeah. Then to strengthen this methods and method calling concept and to work on the some logical part, in previous class, I gave some practice questions. I want you to execute them. If you are writing already, then use the main method to call and execute it. To start with, first I gave the question, write a Java program to declare a method I gave, but this time I'm asking you to print area and perimeter of rectangle I gave. So previously again I am saying clearly, I asked you to define methods. This time I'm asking to print the results of the area and perimeter of a rectangle. Second thing, I already executed this one, area and perimeter of a square. So put both methods in one single class and call them. Try to do that. Then third one, we discussed to print the average of three numbers, which we already discussed just now. Average of three numbers. These three are almost all over. Then extra thing what I am going to give, write a Java program to print area of triangle. The mathematic formula for area is half into base into height. And again, I'm saying clearly, it's not Java code, it's a math formula. Then followed by next thing. We want to get average values float inputs. Then what's the input to be? Yeah, you can use a float input and you can use the return type as float for that, Parvati. Okay. So I am leaving that experimental things to you so that who is working on will get some doubts. And please don't hesitate to reach me out at any point of time. I mean that, okay, at any point of time on my number, not in the group. So you'll sure get a response. Just mention your name if you're sending for the first time a message. Anytime for any question, any doubt, you can always approach me. Okay. The next, so one thing, area of a triangle, I gave the formula. The next followed by, so write a Java program to print percentage of three subjects. Percentage of three subjects. So where we'll be having three subjects, mostly in our intermediate. Let me take something as math, then next physics and chemistry. So you can take the same as variable names. What's the percentage formula? Sum of marks obtained, total marks, not a total number of subjects, total marks, then into 100. Again, this is a math formula. This question will trouble you. You will not get the output. This question will trouble you. You will not get the expected output or correct output. I know, but I am asking you to practice so that you will learn something. Okay. The next, sixth question. So write a program to print area and circumference of circle. Circumference of circle as well. So for this circle area formula, it is, anybody knows, pi r square, but pi we cannot use directly, use 3.14, then into r square means r into r, then circumference 2 into 3.14 into r. So when you're writing, so for all these questions, I want you to write the handwritten code first. First you write like how we are writing in the previous examples like this. This analysis and all not required, but just write the code by using handwritten code first, then Eclipse execution. Please don't execute directly in Eclipse. You will not understand your mistakes. So for self correction, if you trust me, just follow this. Yeah. And if you are getting any errors, please send me your handwritten code. I'll correct there. Don't send me any Eclipse photos. If you are getting any errors, send me the handwritten code photo so that I'll tell you what is the mistake. So with this, I will stop for the day. And by end of the day, I'm expecting everyone to share whether you have done this or not.